Hello, you guys, and welcome to SoulWhat, a Soultopia podcast with our producer Matt Stoker back in Dallas, and we are in Denver, Colorado. How are you guys doing tonight? How are you doing?
Doing good.
You want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Roger. This is Michelle.
Oh, I didn't even say my name, did I? Yeah. So we are sitting in the lobby of the Brown, what's it called?
Brown Palace Hotel and Spa. It's been here since 1892. It's 9 floors, 10 floors, something like that. Actually, there's a basement too underneath us over here.
And so it's haunted. It's
Yep.
had a lot of famous people stay here, besides the famous haunted people that have stayed or still here. The Beatles.
The Beatles have been here. Several presidents have been here from not just our country, but other countries too.
Oh, Yeltsin and Clinton were just right up there.
Right there where the flags are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's pictures of when JFK was here. All the the interior of this hotel is beautiful. In fact, Monty Farber and Amy Zerner were talking to us about it, saying enjoy. They found it beautiful here. There's balconies like on every floor that see kind of view down into the lobby. And so when JFK, there's pictures of him. I guess all the floors were full of people, and he was on the lobby floor.
I assume he was here because of,
he's like right where we are.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're in Denver for the Gem and Mineral Show.
Yep.
Which we were not sure was going to actually happen.
It's about half the size of it last year. A lot of the countries like, say Brazil, Peru, their borders are closed. They're not allowed to leave. So they couldn't come in this year.
And so what we found was people buying. The good news is the economy, as far as in this business, is doing really well. That everyone, all of the miners that we did talk to, the store owners that are buying, they were stocking up. We were stocking up. We've been telling people we will sell stuff as fast as we get it, really, honestly, really quickly. But it was good to see other stores, other places that they're doing really well also, from around the country and around the world. And also the miners that did bring their goods, they were having to get out. They were digging stuff out. We came early. It was good.
Yep.
Yeah, so literally we went, one of the places they had just cleared out some people who'd been living there, that didn't have a place to stay during COVID. They kind of cleared that area out and sanitized everything. And so the restrictions have been, I'd say here in Denver, we're very lucky right now we're getting to talk. It's making me a little nervous because without our mask on, they give us permission. Even nobody's in this lobby, but we.
Yeah, we're the only ones sitting in it right now. But to give you an idea, to go into the shows themselves, they had the QR codes, and we had to scan those with your phone. You put in your name, your phone number, email address. That way, if anything comes up down the road, somebody says, "Oh, I had COVID and I was at the show," they can send an email out to everybody that was at the show so they can kind of pre-warn you. And you actually had to do that each time you went in so that they could actually kind of track who was at the show.
Tracking you.
Yeah, they're tracking who's at the show, who wasn't at the show.
And if you think you're going to freak out about that, just know that, hey, you're already being tracked. I mean, you have a phone, so get over it. You're already being tracked, I guarantee you. Okay, if you have a phone. But anyway, so we were here for that, and we decided that because of that, we'll do some crystal readings tonight. A lot of times when we go to these events, we will be we'll have a lot of the items with us, and we'll bring them and show them to you, and we'll have, the crystals to show. I've posted some of those pictures. You guys can see those. We've posted a lot of the pictures for you to see. And then a lot of amethyst I posted. That I bought a big quartz piece. How many pallets did you get, Roger?
I got it down to 3 pallets, 3,000 pounds. That's not counting what we're actually carrying back.
Anybody that's working in our store right now is painting now. They're all fainting.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Because it's 3,000 pounds, and I've got We have like several bags that we'll throw in the suitcase and bring back with us.
Yeah. So, but a lot of really cool stuff. Some new, a lot of
Some new
new,
things.
some not a lot, new and different things. But
Mm-hmm.
then just the standbys. I found a pink and brown agate sculpted. I always get them confused. It's a, let me get it. It's a flamingo, not a pelican. A pink and, yeah, I get those confused. I mean, I know them, but I get them confused.
But there were 3 sizes. Which one did you get?
I got all three
So
sizes.
you got all three
And I
sizes.
also got them when, apparently, when their head is up, that's for good luck. And when they're down, that means it's like I've manifested. So I had to have both, because I am manifesting and we're going to, it's going to be accomplished, right?
All 3 sizes.
Yeah.
Small.
Y'all want some
Medium,
pelicans, don't you? No, I mean
large.
flamingos. I need to at least know what they're called, right?
Flamingos. They're pink.
Flamingo,
Pink
the pink.
flamingos.
The little, some of them have brown agate tails, but they're like so beautiful.
Yeah.
And we got some amethyst, some more. We have fluorite lamps. We got some amethyst.
Got some fluorite and
Yeah.
amethyst lamps. They're about 1.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
6 by 6 square. Lights inside, and they just glow. They're really nice.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
and a
really
big
nice.
thing that we don't have a lot of that you're going to be seeing now. Big hot thing is pink amethyst. So pink amethyst, we got some wings, right?
Yeah, they're
Wing, yeah, we
cool.
got some
They
beautiful.
actually are shaped like butterfly wings.
They're pink amethyst, you guys. So that's kind of every year you'll go and there's something. Like one year it was kind of the titanium coated stuff. That's still kind of popular. That was like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Where
about
the
4 or 5.
amethyst, and we'll sell that because people think it's pretty. But that was kind of the big thing. And then it was, it's always something. This
New
pink
out.
amethyst, and it's not new to Mother Earth. It's just new that
Kind of
they're
finding
thinking
it.
people will be interested in it. So anyway, so we had some of you text to give us, or not text, but inbox us on Soul what? Well, not inbox. What is it called? Post on SoulWhat. I'm a little tired. He did all the work today, but I'm the one that's tired. To post some questions regarding, if you had questions regarding crystals. And what I'd like you to do is basically, if you want to post now, if you have an issue, like let's say you wanted to know what's a good stone or crystal to help me study. I know a lot of that. Roger knows a lot of that. Um, a lot of times people will run to the books, and you can do that certainly. But we're going to use our intuition. We may even pull a card for you. I didn't bring my crystal cards. I should have, the Soultopia crystal cards. But we wrote them, so we should know them, right?
Yep.
And so we're going to just do some readings for you guys. And so I'm going to start with the questions, if I can get this to stay on.
Hey,
Roger usually...
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to crystals, is it enough to just have them around, or do you need to be a little bit more intentional with how you use them? Do you need to hold them or do anything with them, or is it enough just to, put them near you or put them in your house and that you'll get some sort of benefit out of it?
It's a great question, Roger.
Yeah. So I like this to tell you. So the thing about crystals, they have a energy rate that they actually flow with, right? So if you think about that energy rate, it's always constant with a crystal. However, with your own body, your energy rate may be really constant and then sporadic, really constant and then sporadic. So what happens is when you have them around you, your body will actually entrain to that same energy rate, so you actually will flow with it. Kind of the quick, easy version, right? So having them around does help benefit you.
So do you need to, a good question is to follow, I think Matt also is like, let's say this lobby, Matt, is really big. I don't know how big Roger's good with it, but in this lobby, if I was sitting down here and I was really upset, it would probably be better to wear something. But if there was a big crystal in here, let's say a crystal sphere, that would be great to influence the whole lobby because the energy would go out evenly into the whole lobby. Another question a lot of people will ask is, does size matter with crystals? In a lobby like this, it would matter. But like just for you to answer, like when we're going to give some of these suggestions, Sometimes you can just have them beside your bed. They don't have to be in contact with your skin. I mean, sometimes you don't want them to be. Sometimes you can use them in water, um, and sometimes you need to check the toxicity. Sometimes we'll wear them as jewelry. And so it's a little bit of all. And there's not really a right way. It's really which way is best for you and most convenient, to be honest.
And if you think about Matt, you're setting in, you know, a lot of time during the day, you're in front of the computer screen, things like that. If you just have, let's say, a Shungite, because that's great for using around the computers. If you have a Shungite sitting directly in front of you or between, say, you and the computer, it helps with those EMF blockage, you know, with that computer.
Right.
So
and
having it around does work.
yeah, it does. And so we bought a lot of Shungite on this trip too, because even Shungite phone holders, we've got people in the lobby. So, but Shungite phone holders, that's going to be great for all those and all the 5G stuff. So it's a little bit of both. Now you will find books that will say you have to do it this way. Like if you're studying, you have to hold it in your left hand and stand on one foot and, you know, tap your head or whatever. And they'll get real specific. I don't ascribe to that. I think that it's whatever's best for you. That's a great question, though. And I love talking what Roger was talking about, how we entrain to the crystal. Another example of that is how we entrain our bodies entrain to anything. That, like, say you're in a room and everybody's having a really good time in that room, and you're maybe say there's 10 people in a party, and somebody walks in and they're a real downer. You know, they just have a really bad attitude, and you're all feeling really, really good. Typically, that room might entrain to that strongest personality or to that whoever just walked in the room. Or if somebody walks in and they really are in a great mood, they'll entrain to that. Pendulums will do the same. If you get a pendulum moving, the crystals, with crystals, they'll entrain, but it could even be a button. It will entrain, the energy will entrain and follow. And because crystals are so fixed, like Roger said, it's really great to use. That's why crystals work. They really do. So, yeah, I'm going to keep talking while I find these. But one of the biggest questions we do get, and I think for also, is do you have to clean the crystals, cleanse the crystals, clear the crystals? And those are all kind of different. I think, yeah, you always want to clean things if you can. And then wash it just with soap and water.
Depends on the crystal. You do want to double check to make sure it's not water soluble. You know, if it's just kind of rinse off type thing, it's not that big a deal. You also have people that they like to put their crystals in salt. I've heard people doing that before.
Yeah.
Selenite's actually a really great one to use because you can get the selenite sticks. I actually had a little bit, selenite bowls, sticks, any of those. I actually had a little bit of room left on a pallet, so I ran over to a guy that I know and bought some of those giant sticks of selenite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to think about how heavy that is and where
it was heavy. I weighed the one little box. It weighed 115 pounds.
So so that's clearing it, and cleaning it and clearing it. Do you have to charge your crystals? Do you have to put energy into them? Really quickly, I'm just going to tell you, I don't believe you do. But every now and then you might want to charge them out in a full moon. People like to do that in the sun. That's great if you want to give them that added little boost of energy. But you don't have to. What you don't have to do is you don't have to program your crystals. Right. Okay, except for maybe clear quartz. But they already come with personalities and they already come with properties of things that they do for you. So, for example, we got a question from, and I just lost the place as usual. Roger, I'm going to let you operate this. If you would, please. Here you go. But for instance, if you're going to study, not to just go on about Matt's question, but it is a really important one. A lot of people are studying right now and they're in front of the computer a lot. I would recommend, while he's finding that, it's under the ad. That's it. I would recommend Shungite, and I would recommend fluorite for concentration. Is for especially for kids, but also for like people like me, concentration. And then for younger kids, I would recommend either a blue quartz or a blue agate. And those may be dyed, and that's okay. They love how those look, and they're actually the oldest known protection stones. So I would put those with them too. That would be what I would do for somebody studying. There's a lot more other stones too, but that's what I would use. Okay, what's the first question we got?
Maybe I'm not on the right thing.
Yeah, you are. So we've got a question. Somebody wants to know, JP, he wants to know what crystal should he work with to bring in good clients for his freelance work. So that would be a crystal to basically for manifestation, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to manifest things into your life. So I personally, JP, would use a citrine. It's known as the merchant stone, and it's in the quartz family. So amethyst is too. So amethyst is purple, and citrine's kind of an orange or a light yellow. The natural colors are light yellow, and it is known as the merchant stone. So it's going to help you bring in not only clients for your business, but also money.
Do you think also maybe green aventurine?
Absolutely.
Because of that manifestation side of things, you use green aventurine, bring it in, and just kind of back to mats, but it's one of those crystals you actually can set an intention within that crystal to carry with you and move energy.
Well, because
Or
it's
bring
also
to you.
green aventurines is anything you can correspond to the chakras too. So it's green. So that's really it's known for the heart chakra, green or pink. But green aventurine is known as the good luck stone. It's also known as the gambler's stone. I'm not, going to encourage people to go just because you have a green aventurine, you're going to, hit the lottery.
But if you do,
But if you do,
split
give
it
us
with me.
credit. And I'm kidding. And no, I'm not kidding.
I'm not kidding. You better be splitting it with me.
But don't spend all your money on the lottery.
On me. Spend it on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want them to spend it on? Or you just want the money?
No, they can buy me something nice. Motorcycle.
Pelican and pink agate.
You mean a flamingo?
I mean flamingo. Dadgummit.
No, we don't. We already have 6, because we had to get 2 littles, 2 mediums.
Well, I'm sure somebody else is going to want one too. Okay, so the other thing I would add to that, I was thinking for your freelance clients to bring in clients is something about how you're speaking too. And I'm not implying you're not speaking correct, but depends on what you're in. But like Roger was in sales, we still are in retail. But when you sold rent windows, what crystals do you think would help you with your presentations the most?
Blue lace agates, like the number one. Blue lace agate's great because that's great for that throat chakra, but it helps with carrying your voice out, and you get that tone out. Helps with your deliverance of that message and people understanding that message.
So the delivery of the message will be, and also set an intention. You could also throw in a quartz with that, and you could just have, so these could be little crystals, and you could just put them in your pocket. Okay, it's I carried 2 crystals in my pocket the last 3-4 days. I had a lithium quartz because I get anxiety around all this, not in the hotel as much, but around all the people wearing all the masks and all the rules, and I get a little anxiety. So I had a lithium quartz in my pocket, and I had a lepidolite for anxiety in my pocket. And I just would touch, and so they're sort of, you've heard the term sort of touchstone. I like that too. I like to be able to sort of a size that I can kind of touch and know they're in my pocket, and so that's what I would do for you. Yeah, I think that would be a very good combination, JP, for you.
So I had one over here.
Okay.
A crystal that helps with ringing ears.
Okay. So, disclaimer first, that none of this will, of course, replace the any medical doctor of your choice or whatever. Jump in with me because I'm tired. But
however, my ears ring constantly all the time, so I know what you're talking about.
So what would you recommend? Because I know what I would recommend.
I don't know.
Okay. I would recommend hematite. But I'm going to give y'all a little secret, a little trick, okay?
You put it in each ear?
No. But you could wear earrings, but but you could hold them You could put them, you could tape them with surgical tape that you can buy at CVS. I have it. It's very gentle tape, but it'll hold the stones on, and you can tape them behind your ears. But I would do hematite. But another little trick is there's a book. We sell it. I don't think it's in stock right now, but you can also get it on Kindle. It's called Judy Hall's crystal prescription book. Now she has about 6 volumes, and you do not need all those, but for physical ailments, for physical things primarily, such as, what is that called? Tinnitus. Then you could go, and I even have it on my phone, and I could look up tinnitus. I could go to that app. I could look up tinnitus, and I could see what she recommended. Now, the only thing about her recommendations, she writes the Crystal Bible too, is sometimes I find them to be the higher price crystals. So go through the whole list. If you want a really expensive crystal to carry around or to wear, that's your choice, but you don't always have to go for the most expensive crystal.
So what I take out of that, since I have tinnitus, my ears ring all the time, I need hematite, and you said earrings are great, so I should get my ears pierced and get little hematite studs.
Sure.
Okay, y'all heard it. And I got video proof. She told me to pierce my ears.
Sure. If that's what you want to do, you won't keep them in though. You'll be like me. See, never wear them. But you could go to that app and you'll find a list. And now let me tell you something. For everybody you ask, a lot of times a lot of things you're gonna get the same answers, and other things you're gonna get differing answers. But I have been asked that question before, and also, just so you know, I would again throw in some blue with that, because anything with your neck or your ears or your teeth is your throat chakra.
Yeah.
So I would throw in a blue, and I'm thinking probably maybe a sodalite. That's a gentle version, I call it, of a lapis lazuli. It just doesn't have the pyrite in it, and I would put that with your hematite.
That'd be good.
Yeah. You don't have to tape the sodalite. I would just kind of hold it, or even wearing, if it depends on who asks, but if you're okay with wearing a bracelet, we sell all those kinds of bracelets like that, so that would help for that.
Yeah.
Got another one?
Yeah, I do. Spirit work crystals. So I mean, I know that we used to make a bracelet for when we did a lot of the paranormal events. We did the one that had the tiger's eye, smoky quartz, hematite, and lapis.
Yeah,
those 4 in it.
Which I don't really totally agree with. So are we talking about paranormal
Well,
work, or what? Or we
she
need more
just said
specific?
or spirit work crystals. So
Okay, so
that could be a couple of ways.
I'm gonna come at that from. Let's go at from the paranormal way. So
Okay.
say that again. The bracelet that we have. We need to break that bracelet again.
So we had tiger's eye, smoky quartz, hematite, and lapis.
Okay.
That's what I had.
Okay. So one that's known really well for paranormal work also is obsidian.
Yes.
And so I would add probably obsidian to that if it's that type of spirit work. That's more for protection. Now, if that question is talking about spirit work and working with guides, that's a very, very broad question. So if you're talking about angelic guides, I would do blue kyanite. I would do celestite. I would do selenite angelite, and then I would also do maybe amethyst, and then you could even do there's crystals for each particular angel. But if you were wanting to call in a certain spirit guide, those are kind of transpersonal chakra crystals. They're kind of high ascension crystals. I would probably use a phenacite or phenakite, a prehnite maybe. Amethyst would work.
Covalite.
Moldavite. Depends on what spirit work you're doing. So that's a broad term. So if you're working with differing types of spells and things like that kind of spirit work, I would work with some pneumite. It's known as the sorcerer's stone. So yeah, that's what I would do for that. Yeah. But as far as, calling in spirits, if that's the question, crystals, you can use crystals more for, I would use it more for, kind of just protection. And then a lot of people will mention lapis lazuli for that too, even for mediumship. They'll mention lapis. I've never I've never really think of lapis that way. I think of it as being more of a royal
Yeah.
stone. It is a third eye stone, so that's where people get that from. But there are much better crystals for that, in my opinion, for mediumship than astrophyllite. Well, that's for astral traveling too, but there's just a lot better crystals for
Yeah.
mediumship.
I like the obsidian, like you're talking about.
Obsidian.
Yeah.
And if you want to soften that obsidian, you can get the golden sheen, you get the rainbow obsidian.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And somebody did say, when you're talking about crystals for angels,
Mm-hmm.
tell us if you like. We always talk like Michael, Raguel, what crystals work really well with those?
Okay, so for the four, what you would call the four major angels that that govern the directions, and that every religion kind of knows. Not every religion, but the four primary religions know
Mhm.
these four angels. Those are Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and I, I told you this time. You're going to have to tell me who's the other one. Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and I'll think of it in a second.
Yeah, not Raguel.
Um,
That's
so Michael, I think of
it's
Shungite, lapis, and anything gold, because he or kind of like a golden flame, because he has like a golden sword that he carries. And so Shungite's really good, but that's gotten to be really, really expensive. So you can use some black tourmaline for. He's a mighty protector, and so I do lapis and maybe some Shungite with that, and then for Gabriel or Gabriella, they're androgynous. That is going to be a copper, because or carnelian, anything kind of orange, and anything that has to do with delivering messages. Because that's what Gabriel is known for, or Gabriel is known for, specifically delivering messages regarding the Quran to Muhammad, and in the Christian text, it was delivering messages of the birth of Christ and the birth of John the Baptist. So differing, same angel, differing beliefs of what they do, but carnelian would be great. Copper, and then for Uriel, Uriel is the archangel that is basically shows you the light. It's wisdom and carries the light. So for Uriel, I think of I can't remember what we
citrine.
have on our bracelets, but a
Citrine.
citrine
Mhm.
and anything that's going to represent wisdom and truth. So, but citrine is like showing the light on things. And I will think of that fourth.
Raphael.
Raphael, thank you. The healer's angel,
Yeah,
duh,
and Malachite.
and the travel's angel. So, yeah, definitely Malachite for
Yeah.
Raphael. And thank you for
Yeah.
remembering that.
Took me a minute.
Yeah.
Been a long day.
So those are the four. So, and then there's 14 that I go over in my angel classes, and they all have different crystals, and not just one. There's a bunch of different colors, but it's mainly because they're auras. So a good way to pick your crystals is that if you don't know which crystal to pick, and you're just wondering, a good way is to learn the chakras. Okay, so those are the colors, and they go Roy G. Biv, and black would be at the very bottom, below your feet, and then really bright colors, like iridescent above your head. And then you just go the colors of the rainbow straight up your body, Roy
Yeah.
G. Biv. But also auras, like so the aura of an angel, or the aura of, let's say, a god or goddess that you work with, whatever you feel the vibe of that deity or spirit guide that you work with, it then you could probably determine what crystal would be good to work with.
Yep.
Based on what you know about that deity.
Definitely.
Or that guide. Yeah.
So another one here is crystals that help reduce frustration, anger type reactions.
Okay. So surprisingly enough, a lot of times, you'll say don't paint a room red because that'll cause angst and anxiety. Well, for anxiety and frustration, is that what you said?
Yes.
Red jasper actually is very, very good. It's kind of, red is good in that case. A red jasper is good. It's also good when people are bullied, just so you know. If you're bullied or your kids are bullied or any of that situation going on, red jasper is really good for that too. And it's a root chakra stone. It makes you feel strong.
Okay.
Also, carnelian is good. Now, for if you're feeling agitated and for that kind of frustration, lithium quartz is going to calm that down because that's actually where they get lithium from. Um, any soothing blue stone, lepidolite's one of my favorites, and shungite also, which is a carbon, but we'll just call it a crystal. It meets you where you are, so it kind of lifts your spirits and makes you calm down if you're agitated. But if you need a little boost, it'll also give you a little boost. So those are some to start with for that.
That's good.
Yeah, and selenite too, by the way.
Selenite.
Selenite's good for a lot of stuff. Yeah, to really calm you down. It'll also help you sleep.
Okay. I was looking, guys, at everybody's comments here, trying to track everybody.
And yeah, and I keep getting off of SoulWhat, so I am not. I had here we go, Georgina. She'd love to get some insight on timing opportunities related to expanding the physical location of her business and expanding the menu of services offered. And let's see, if time, financially, past time, physically, to hire a receptionist. Okay, so for crystals related to that, we understand that. Looking at your business and looking at, I would suggest honestly a grid for that. So a grid is where you put two crystals together to form a synergistic effect. The crystals are going to work together. So you could do, 4 rose quartz if you really wanted to make a grid for love, let's say. But so I'm going to a grid, Georgina, for you. um, and I'm wanting to go back to that original answer about business. I want quartz in there for clarification, because quartz primarily, unless you program them, like I said, the one quartz thing that I would program at times is the clear quartz. I could do a whole show on that, or do a whole class on that, because I do. But I would get some clear quartz points, and I would write down your thoughts, and I would point the clear quartz, and you can get little bitty ones if you want. Maybe I do odd numbers, but if you want, for this, I would do even. I'm thinking 4 for stability, and I would do 4, and I would point them in at your question, and you could even put a candle in the middle, and then I would, because it has to do with business and expansion, I would add in some of those crystals we talked about before, because we are having some money questions. So those stones again are going to be citrine, green aventurine, pyrite, peridot. This is a peridot ring I have on, so it's just a light green, but you're going to get little bitty pieces of peridot probably, and put them, or you can get big ones if you want. And raw works too, by the way. And put them in a grid, however you want to shape it, and write down your issue. And you can take a class on grids, but that's kind of what I'm coming to for you, is what I would do for that situation, because that's a whole situation around it. Yeah. And so when you're wanting a reading from, this is what's to work with, but if you're wanting a reading from crystals, you can absolutely do that. I don't have any here to read with, but if I read with crystals all the time. So let's say I had a bag full of crystals, and you were wanting to know, what should I know about expanding my business? If I drew a lot of crystals that had to do, or you drew a lot of crystals that had to do with finances, we would explore, okay, what is it looking like for your finances? Or is it more of an issue of where you're going to be? And there might be crystals for that too. Okay. So you can read with crystals. Awesome.
What do you think about crystals people will keep on their nightstands?
Okay, so I think that's great. If you want to, if I would keep ones that are going to help you sleep. If you want to sleep, I mean, when you're in bed. Now, if you are like me and sometimes you study sitting in your bed or something, then you could change out your crystals. Um, we get this question a lot. What crystal should I have on my nightstand, and is it going to be bad if I have certain crystals? Well, I don't think crystals ever are going to do anything bad, and I think that they can cause some crystal confusion, chaos. What do you think about that?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah, they can, because I know that we used to keep all the beads in the bedroom. Remember that?
Mm.
Because we used to make the bracelets sitting in bed watching TV.
Yeah.
Well, the energy in the room was crazy chaotic, so we actually had to move all the
It's
beads.
already that way with
Yeah,
me.
we had to move all the beads out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
But there are some that are good, like selenite. That's good if you're trying to sleep more.
Absolutely.
Amethyst.
Amethyst will help with good, nice dreams. Selenite you can put underneath the bed. You can put it under your mattress. You can
Yep.
use amethyst. You can use, if you want to astral travel, you can use astrophyllite or astrophyllite. People say that all different. I love that crystal, but that is kind of a wiry crystal too. One time I slept with moldavite taped to my third eye. Do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah, she had some
He thinks it's funny.
pretty intense, crazy dreams at night.
Yeah.
She only slept about 5 a.m. and got up and took it off. She couldn't handle it after that.
No, it's a lot.
There's a lot of energy flowing.
Yeah, if you, and our moldavite is real, and we saw one of the people this weekend that we know and trust. You got to buy moldavite from people you trust. Well, all crystals, right?
Yeah. Because we actually, there's a lot of fakes floating around. Not just moldavite, but just crystals in general, or like we saw these giant pieces of malachite azurite.
Those
They
were
were
obvious.
literally
Those were
larger.
so obviously fake.
They were literally the size of like a large watermelon. Okay.
I was gonna say that's a
large watermelon.
Big ass watermelon. Okay, so
but what happened was it wasn't really malachite and azurite mix. It was, however, they had dyed it.
They ruined it.
They dyed the blue and the green in there to get more vibrant colors into it. And that wasn't just at one place.
Tacky.
That was probably at like 8 places I saw those pieces that ranged from like this to like this. And they had gone in and dyed those crystals just to make it look more real than what it really is.
So just so you know, that doesn't make it fake. It just makes it enhanced. It's been affected, and many things are enhanced.
But you're also
every bit, not like that, but just so you know, every single piece of citrine you probably own, unless you bought it from Soultopia or somewhere that will.
Well, you just need to know.
99% of it has been heat treated, and it may be amethyst. Okay, so nobody's going to lie to you about that. They just may not know it. 99% of it. So because citrine really, it should be almost like a smoky quartz color. In fact, smoky quartz and citrine are very, very similar in properties. Yeah. So, but those things were tacky.
Oh, they were.
And that's his favorite crystal. Is it azurite and malachite or just azurite?
For me, just azurite.
So azurite's it's a really brilliant blue stone that they would use for, and they still, I think, use it for paint, for dyes, for makeup.
Because it's technically mineral.
It's a third eye stone, so it's great for enhancing your psychic abilities. So if you want to know a stone that's really, really good for enhancing your psychic abilities, it's azurite. Yeah. But not that.
Not this one.
But that didn't, so.
When you got close, you could tell.
You didn't have to get that close. It's nasty.
But when you got really close, you really could tell. Because it was not good. It looked like they took a sponge paintbrush and dabbed it on there.
It was gross, y'all.
Like that.
You're just shaking the computer there, aren't you? Yeah, it was really.
I'm getting everybody's.
It was gross. Okay, any other questions? And then you get the typical. We have, I have on Michelle Soultopia, where you can also watch this. I have so many videos of these are the crystals that are good for protection. These are the crystals that are good for traveling. These are speaking of, you learned one tonight, or we did, Raphael, right? Because he's the traveler. He's the patron angel of travelers, but also light workers. Anything you can think of, there's a crystal for it. Uh, and don't ever think that you always have to. Don't ever think you're wrong. Okay, you really can't go wrong with which crystal you choose. Um, how you use it, the only way you could go wrong with it is if you're going to damage it, or if you get something toxic and then you put it in water, or like he's allergic to sulfur and he was standing by sulfur again. This he hasn't learned yet. He's allergic,
Yes,
and I was like,
we're at a
"There's
crystal gem show, so there is real sulfur here.
there's sulfur," and he
And I'm
sat
standing
down.
right by
He
it.
sat our, you carry your big boxes or carts around, and he sat down our box right on top of it. And I go, "Do you know what that's sitting on top of?" And he goes, "What?" And I said, "Sulfur."
I didn't
And
look. I just set it down.
but at least you didn't have like a slap on your face like the
Didn't
one
go.
time. One time he rubbed his face after and had
I was
that on his.
broken out from here all the way to here.
Point being, you can't really go wrong with crystals, so don't let people judge. Oh no, that's not right for that, or that's not right for that. Do what you want with them. Go to what you're drawn to. If you want a little help, yeah, we can help. But the only way you can really go wrong, I think, is damaging them, or you know, um, putting them in water or something like that,
Yeah.
and making an elixir when you haven't checked the toxicity.
Yeah.
or
Always check the toxicity.
toxicity list.
So here's a really good one.
Okay.
Do you think the bracelets work as good as loose stones and crystals?
Okay, so work is good. First of all, I think everything's intent. A lot of, well, it's not totally intention because these actually we do and train to them technically, but yes, um, I will say that there are grades of things. Okay, so there are probably your crystal little chunks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your chips, then your beads, then there's your tumble stones, and there's like where you get kind of even nicer, like a
Yeah.
cabochon, and then you get where there's
Specimen pieces.
specimen pieces. Getting to the answer, why does that matter? Well, the more you mess with a crystal, does that take away its properties? No, I don't think so. And that's a big argument with a lot of people. Um, I don't think it does. I don't think because the minute we take it out of the ground, we're messing with it. What was the original question?
Do bracelets work as
Bracelets.
well?
So it's not as high of a grade, but you are wearing it on you all the time and it's easy. So I promote and I'm a big proponent of wearing bracelets because um, I'm going to have it near me and I'm going to be able to, like I said earlier, touch it and almost use it like an afro. I could go around a bracelet. It maybe has 22 or 23 crystals, and I can do a little mantra like a mala necklace. I can do that with a bracelet. And so my answer is technically it might be yes.
I think they do just as well, just because. Well, one thing is we are in our bracelets and our beads, we're getting better and better quality product. Okay, because
Trying to.
there is a difference in going and buying a bracelet for $1.99 and one that's $25 and one that's $50.
Yeah.
There's a difference in the quality of the beads, the product, and things like that. And we have gotten a lot over the years. We've gotten a lot of great contacts where, in case y'all didn't know this, when we first started making bracelets, we sold them from $35 to $55 a piece.
Oh no, they went up to 65.
Okay, we had $35 to $65 a piece. Today they're $24.95, and we have a handful that are $27.95. That's a big difference in.
We sold them all day long
Yeah.
at like 45, 50,
Yeah,
$60.
that's a big difference. But and I will also tell you, the quality of crystals and beads that we are getting today are so much better than they were 7 years ago. Don't you think?
Yeah, it depends on who's getting them, where you're
Mhm.
getting them. Um, so I think it worked. For me, I love the bracelets. Some people will think, oh, the raw works better, and I will only want to get raw crystals.
Yeah.
They don't want them tumbled anymore. They just want them raw. That's great if that's what you think. I don't think that a crystal's a crystal. Even people will ask me, what if it breaks? Do I need to, you know, stop using it? Well, you could, do a little healing on it or blow on it or sing, breath it, give some breath of healing or breath of life or sing to it or whatever, or put it in salt or put it out in the moon. But honestly, it's already been broken when they took it out of the ground. I mean, so some of the things, I'm not saying it to the person who asked the question, but some of the things I hear on YouTube and things where people are like, oh, I can't, this crystal, you can't use it anymore because it's broken. That's silly. Yeah, you
Sure you
can,
can.
and you just have two. Okay, it may change the shape of it.
Now, it may not be what you originally like. If you have bought, say, a point, amethyst point, and you dropped it and the point popped off, yeah, you no longer have a point as
Yeah.
far as like the point that you originally started with. But you still have an amethyst.
So does a specimen piece of, let's say, Amazonite, a very, very, very high grade, which by the way is great for studying again. It's great for memorization. It's great for those of you who want to write books, or you want to, or you're giving speeches and you speak a lot. So that covers a lot of people. It'd be great back to the person that we said, the sodalite. So Amazonite, you get a specimen piece, right? It could go in a museum. Is that going to have a higher, affect you more than a bracelet? I don't I don't know that it would. It would me, just because I would know, oh wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful piece. Um, the one thing I will say, can I go there? I'm not a big fan of organite. We do sell it, people love it, and people swear by it because it's made with some intention of high energy, and so we're coming back with it. He'll be mad at me for saying it, but no, people love it. But for me, it's even the lowest. I call it the bologna of crystals
Because it has some of everything in it.
because it's like, how bologna,
I
they
like
just scrape
bologna.
it, they scrape it up and
I
they.
like bologna.
So that's what
Big old thick
organite.
slice bologna,
I'm not.
Wonder Bread, tomato,
I now
lettuce,
I'm now I'm starting to
little
thinking
mayo.
it's pretty, but it's like a casserole. If you like casseroles, which I do, so I guess I can like organite.
All right, I've got one last one.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know
So,
if we answered that other question, but
okay, well, this will kind of help too. She wore 3 different crystal bracelets and had to remove them halfway through the day. Gave her kind of a nervous feeling to it. So my opinion about that is that if you had like a crystal, remember we were talking about it before, how your body entrains to the crystal energy. If you had one that was doing this and one that was doing this, you could have some issues with that wearing those different bracelets during the day.
okay, I disagree. Um, I mean, I think it's, well, I guess if crystals are as powerful as we think they are, I just don't know if crystals really doing harm to people. I think people decide that it does, but whoever this is feels them very, very uniquely. Okay, so it depends on the person. So to say that, you know, just because you have a lot of crystals in a place, it's going to be a a chaotic energy. That's not true, because if you come in Soultopia, we have a lot of crystals in there, and it can be a very, very, very soothing place, and people love to come in there. Um, so I think it just depends. Now, I would do, whoever that is, what I would do is just common sense. I would do just like a food. I would eliminate one at a time. You only had 3, and figure out which one. That's not super common. That just means you feel it. Something that you were wearing
They pick
pretty
up on the energy
uniquely.
more.
And not only that, consider the fact that maybe the one that you felt like you was making you unsettled may be the very one you need. Okay, that's something I'm looking into. Is, crystals, and we always say go to the one you're drawn to, but we don't say that with oils, essential oils. You say you get the one that you don't like, because that's the one you need. So I'm beginning to wonder if that might be true with crystals sometimes too.
Could be.
Yeah, but hey, if something's bothering you, that's your truth. I mean, take them off and figure out which ones. And you know, you can always clear something because crystals can pick up energy. I don't think they're ever evil crystals. If somebody decides it's
No crystal like Christine.
as much as it's just no, it's as much as you could
Annabelle doll.
it's as much as this phone could be or Annabelle doll could be. It's
Right.
somebody deciding to program it and deciding to put a bad intention into something. So for those of you who read and oh, that's a bad crystal, or oh, we've had somebody bring a crystal into the store and say, ooh, this crystal, they got it somewhere else. It's got something wrong with it. Okay, well, we'll put it in the singing bowl and clear it.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's most crystals are pretty pure energy, in my opinion.
Sure.
I mean, you're going to get more danger from human beings than you are crystals, I think.
All
so,
right. So before we sign off, I'll tell you what, I will take the computer real quick and do a quick scan or slow scan around the hotel lobby and let everybody see it.
that's why you want to hurry and get off, huh?
No, it's
I can
time.
tell.
No.
Oh, it's late.
We're
Yeah.
late.
Okay.
But if you guys want to see what the lobby actually looks like, this is so cool. And you see all the way up. Our room is right up there. Up there's where our room is. Yeah. Kind of cool. Cool hotel.
Woo. Okay. So, if y'all want to know anything else about crystals, uh, there's great books. I can always recommend those books to you. The computer's sitting on top of one of them. I was going to show you that I picked up. If there's a crystal book out there, I've read it, unless it just got published. In my book, The Magic of Connection, coming out in January, there is a section, actually two chapters. You can tell how much I love crystals. That turned it up being two chapters on crystals, and one of them is it goes very much into how to heal different kinds of emotional connections that we have with people. So that's going to be really good. And we also have our crystal cards that we've been telling you guys about. They're just, I can't believe I forgot them. And I was going to do one thing just before we sign off. Everybody choose number 1 or number 2. And I wish we had the crystals because we do it with crystals. But check this out. Do y'all remember these? Roger's always using these. They're the Radiant Wise Tarot Spirit. We have got these in little pocket sizes.
Yeah, they're little bitty ones.
And I carried them with me. So I brought down another deck. Roger's going to use that one, and I'm going to use the Healing Light Tarot, and we're going to just sign off by giving you guys pick number 1 or number 2, and I guess I will read as number 2. You'll read as number 1.
Shocking.
Okay, go. We don't have much time.
Shocking. All right, card number 1. Okay, so if you pick number 1, whoops, almost made a big old mess.
And it's going to get loud in here, so we're going to go fast.
Yeah, we got some people coming in.
in.
So if you pick number 1, I got that's the 4 of Wands. You know, what's cool about this one is it does show a lot of stability, but also shows like a celebration of things. So what you're going to see is actually kind of a more stable environment around you for, let's say, the next week or 2. But you're also going to be able to celebrate, especially those small victories. Take the time, take the moment in life to celebrate those small victories, and just take in that stable feeling. Make it worthwhile what you're actually feeling. Okay, that's what I got.
Like it. And so if you chose number 2, like I always do, I'm reading from, I think I said it, but just so y'all know, The Healing Light Tarot by Christopher Butler. And these are some beautiful, beautiful cards. We have the Oracle cards now. We got the Tarot cards. And I got the Justice card. And if y'all can see there, it says Justice. And this is a Major Arcana card. And Justice, what I'm getting for you for this week, you guys, is I'm drawn most to not the scales that she's holding, but whatever in her other hand, okay, usually this is as above, so below, but her right hand is just kind of almost dropped down, almost like she's just going to lay down the sword. And that doesn't mean give up. It just means have faith this week that if you, let's say you are in an argument, or you feel, I've got this shirt on, dear karma, you missed a few. If you're feeling like that karma is not taking care of things for you that need to be taken care of, trust that justice has your back. Okay, this week, just trust it a little bit, and that will maybe lower some of your anxiety. Like, let's say you're arguing with somebody from being in such close quarters, just calm down just for a little while, because justice has your back. Is what I get for number twos, and I like that, knowing that for this week.
Yep.
And thanks, you guys. First of all, I want to really, really thank Matt Stoker. Matt arranged all this and did such a great job, and if we ever look good, it's because of Matt. He does such a great job. And thank you guys for listening. All our stores are open every day, and we'll be back.
We'll be back tomorrow night late, back to work on Thursday. If you want to schedule a reading with us.
But everybody there is doing a great job, and we just thank everybody at Soultopia. And so thanks for tuning in. You can subscribe to the Michelle Soultopia YouTube page. We'd really appreciate that. Listen to all the podcast platforms. Tell your friends about it. Share the show. And because we like to discuss things that matter to us and matter to our soul, and you can decide and determine what matters to yours. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.
Good night, guys.